Parliament has agreed to deploy 48...
Switzerland,
hatten die Deutsche Bundesrepublik Föderation.
La libretta agricola.
In Amsterdam,
In pelle da lire 1.350.000.
Radiodifusão portuguesa são 21h30.
These are 6 of the many languages of Western Europe. Together with religion, legal systems, and technical knowledge, they have significantly shaped the way the world is today. Western Europe has a long coastline, with the ocean cutting deep inside in such places as the Baltic Sea in the north and the Mediterranean in the south. In size, Europe ranks 6th of the 7 continents. But Western Europe, with over 340 million people in an area less than half the size of the United States, is the most densely populated region of the world. The early Greeks and Romans used the word Europe to mean civilized or civilization. To them, the concept signified neither land nor nation. Some scholars say that Western Europe consists of as many as 20 independent nations, each, in its view, unique and different. When inhabitants of these countries consider themselves Europeans, it is through the belief that they are the center of the world, the old world, the source of civilization. Where did the word Europe come from? According to a Greek legend, Europe was the daughter of Antigor, the king of Phoenicia, today's Lebanon, in Asia. She was kidnapped by the god Zeus and brought to Crete. According to the legend, it was with her child Minos that European history begins. These stones were hauled over 110 miles and set up at Stonehenge, England, around 2,000 years before Christ. Most Europeans today are descendants of people who migrated from Asia in different waves over many centuries. They were the Anglos, Saxons, Franks, Celts, Alamans, and others. They were united in the 8th century by the Christian Church against the Muslim invaders. At that time, the word Europe did not relate to land and was a synonym for what was known as the Christian world. Members of the clergy were the only ones who could read and write. The church dominated education, art, politics, all facets of life. In 1517, Martin Luther protested against the abuses of the church, and the publication of his writings helped spread his ideas. The birth of the Reformation and the spread of Protestantism ended this period of unity on the continent. The resulting religious wars were terrifying in their intolerance and brutality. Today, in Western Europe, much of the north is Protestant, while the south is predominantly Catholic, as in this village in central Portugal. Now, efforts are being made to bring various religions together, but church attendance is actually declining. In the city of Oxford stands a university founded in the 12th century. There are older ones, like the one in Bologna, Italy, dating from 1088. But the history of European education goes back even further, to the time when Aristotle gave his classes in the public square of Athens. In Venice, Italy, children have to go to school by boat. As in all Western European countries, education is compulsory, and most children complete high school. Literacy rates are as high as anywhere in the world, and students may learn several European languages besides their own.
Fai la soluzione grafica delle due disequazioni così vediamo se effettivamente una è composta dall'altra.
An architectural class in San Sebastian, Spain, does an assignment that would seem familiar anywhere. These children in Spain receive their lessons in the Basque language and repeat them in English.
6, baina guk 7 erabiliko dugu orain, nazaltoka egiteko, adibidez. 7 gehiago erabili dugu, kuadernoan. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Because of the large number of graduates from institutions of higher education, some Western European governments have imposed quotas on some professions and have promoted vocational training and traditional skills. Street artists copy the paintings of old masters, whose inspiration came mainly from the church. Today, junk, and for that matter, anything may inspire the artist. Such as the things that inspired Petra Haussmann, this Dutch painter. The history of art in Europe is extremely rich. Names like Leonardo da Vinci, Rembrandt, and Picasso are just a few in the long list of world-famous European painters. What person in whatever part of the world has not heard of Bach and Mozart, of the Beatles and the Rolling Stones? And much of our thinking has been shaped by Plato, Erasmus, Freud, Sartre, to name just a few. Switzerland has a long history of neutrality, and like some other Western European nations, is not interested in being affiliated with NATO, a military agreement between 14 European countries and the United States. In Western Europe, constitutional monarchies and dictatorships have long stood next to republics and democracies. Through bitter fights, such political values originated as the belief in human progress, in intellectual freedom, religious tolerance, and in the right of the individual against the state. Nothing affected history and our lives so much as the invention of the printing press in Germany around 1450. It brought knowledge to the individual and helped break the domination of the church on all facets of life. Today in Western Europe, the high literacy rate and the freedom to print diverse opinions give inspiration for new ideas and continue the European belief that they are still, at least intellectually, the center of the world. All Western European countries have a democratic form of government. Even the remaining monarchies are democratic states. Europeans can choose freely among the different political parties. And political interest varies from extreme left to extreme right. Peaceful rallies and violent demonstrations reflect these diverse opinions. Ice-free ports, large navigable rivers, and the small size of Europe have made for easy travel, and that has encouraged the flow of ideas. The conquest of the Atlantic Ocean in the late 15th century and the resulting colonial empires made Europe rich and powerful. In the 18th century, iron and coal deposits and the invention of the steam engine brought about the Industrial Revolution. Northern Europe became the most industrially developed region on Earth. Today, Western Europe is divided into the industrialized urban north and the poorer rural south. although Portuguese cork accounts for more than half the world's production. A fruit grower, Jean Montérimont, in the south of France, invested in this enormous shed and bought cows on the advice of government experts. At the time, there was a lack of milk in France. Many governments gave the same advice to their small farmers, and now Europe is flooded with milk, while Jean, as so many others, is drowning in debt.
Vale para o lado aqui no meio das cordas.
Não, não larga nada! O gato bom! Volta agora! Vamos! Volta que eu vou dar as tuas para o caralho, para foda! É a maré boa! O gato bom! O gato barco!
In Portugal, many people are involved in fishing, using age-old methods. After many hours of hard work, the catch is barely enough for all participants. At the same time, in Holland, 2 fishermen haul in almost 1 ton of shrimp within 12 hours. They cook them on board, sell them through their cooperative, and ship them out of the country, all on the same day. For centuries, the countries of Western Europe competed against one another, developing mistrust and mutual suspicion. World War II was the last confrontation where they brutally fought one another. It left the continent devastated, with millions of people dead and wrecked economies. After the war, the United States, through the Marshall Plan, helped not only to fund the rebuilding of Europe, but to promote European unity as well. The common market developed from this period and now has 12 participating countries. Most products pass untaxed throughout Western Europe. The common market has become the biggest commercial body in the world, bigger than Russia and the United States combined, having cornered 37% of all global trade compared to 13% for the United States. But for all this, Europe is not united, not in politics, language, culture, or religion, and there is not yet a common currency. French wines are world famous, and millions of gallons are exported each year. They create jobs for the millions of unskilled workers from the poorer parts of Europe and the former colonies, who travel to industrialized North Europe, not only looking for work, but hoping to profit from the social benefits. These Spanish workers' jobs are threatened by mechanization. Holland is famous for its construction of dikes. This one consists of huge doors, which can be closed when high tides threaten. Industries need enormous amounts of energy. The fuel crisis in 1970 forced many to close down. Many of the foreign workers lost their jobs, and some European governments have tried to send them home, where the situation, however, was worse. No work and no social benefits. So many returned illegally. Unemployment continues to be a problem in every Western European country. Today, governments look for ways to create employment.
Not very nice, is it?
And industries are inventing new technologies so that they can compete against industries in other nations. Switzerland has always been known for its precision instruments, and this factory makes portable sound and video equipment used by most professionals the world over. The European transport system, whether highways, ships, airlines, or trains, is well developed. This is the French TGV, the fastest train on Earth, and you can set your watch by it. In the northern part of Western Europe, most people live in cities, many of which date back to Roman days. But even the oldest cities did not become large until the Industrial Revolution of the last century. The problems of all big cities in the world are the same: housing, services, traffic. The cities are the nation's center for government, scientific research, universities, commerce, and banking. The unemployment rate is also highest in the city. Every day, thousands of tons of food and other goods have to be brought in, adding to the city's planning problems.
Forma participada de fazer informação desportiva.
The mixture of different minds inspire creative thinking, expressed in writing, painting, music, and other forms of art, which can be seen and heard in the many opera houses, concert halls, theaters, museums, and on the street. Okay. Many Europeans have accepted much that America has to offer. TV commercials, movies, music, supermarkets, and fast food are things that all Western European countries have in common. One of the most impressive sights of London is the Tower Bridge, the gateway to the ocean and a memory of the former colonial empire, which made London the business center of the world. Londoners are proud of their tradition born out of 2,000 years of history, but welcome the latest trends. Paris was founded in the 3rd century by a Celtic tribe, the Parisi. It has become the cultural center of the whole world. Today, connoisseurs of all nationalities come to admire its art collections, its architecture, and buy the latest creations by Yves Saint Laurent, Dior, Lanvin, Cartier, and others, and to taste its fine food. Throughout history, European countries have been fighting against one another, and strong differences will always exist. But today there is peace in Western Europe. All countries have democratic forms of governments. The economic crisis of the 70s seems to have passed. Signs of prosperity are everywhere. Social services are well developed, and leisure time offers every imaginable activity.
Die Amerikanen denken, godverdorie, wat snijdt die tent nou dat het allemaal netjes blijft.
Rob Janssen is a product of Western Europe today. He works for a multinational company, his wife in an art gallery. They both play music, speak at least 3 languages, are well read, and have traveled widely. They have 2 children, both in high school. Rob Janssen and his family have many of the same concerns as his American counterparts: urban violence, illegal immigration, drugs, protection of the environment, the role of women in today's society. They are, as most Europeans, concerned by the threat of nuclear war, worried about being caught between the Americans and the Russians, with little to say. Rob Janssen and his family are Europeans, not because they happen to live in that part of the world, but because of that feeling, that concept, the Greeks and the Romans gave to it.